Welcome, Glanbia team. Before you move on to the video, we want to make you aware of Glanbia's Code of Conduct. We're going to show you a summary here on the screen. Please look it over and keep it in mind as you watch the video and digest the very important concepts and information that it will explore with you.
Hello, and welcome to Ethics and Code of Conduct Training. My name is Memo Mendez.
And I'm Kit Goldman. Thank you so much for joining us. We're here in the training room where we do our live programs, and we're really excited to be sharing this vital information with you. Now, along with the information you're going to get from this video, it's essential that you read and understand your own organization's code of conduct and know your own reporting procedure.
That's right. Kit and I are both experts in legal and human issues in the workplace. We're also professional actors, so after we lay down some key learning points, we're going to act out some episodes that will allow you to look at these situations and determine what you would do in those situations.
Exactly. And some of the key ethical principles that you're going to see brought to life are trust, honesty and integrity, fairness, respect, loyalty, excellence, reputation, and compliance. You know, ethics is a very deep and very important issue in work and in life. We're going to look at why it's so important. But first, what is this thing we're talking about, ethics, Memo? What is this?
Well, for one thing, it's complying with laws. regulations, policies. There are a lot of laws related to ethical issues such as bribery, conflict of interest, insider trading, fraud, whistleblower retaliation, corrupt dealings with foreign corporations, criminal activity such as theft, vandalism, assault, and much, much more. However, ethics goes far beyond compliance. It's about doing the right thing, even when the right thing is difficult and the wrong thing is easier. Doing the right thing. That's what the focus of the conversation is today.
Exactly, and we're going to give you 5 main reasons why ethics is important. Reason number 1, our conduct says who we are, what we stand for. Are we someone who makes the world a better place? Who does the right thing? Someone others can look up to? And do we treat others as we want to be treated? Or perhaps more importantly, how we want our loved ones to be treated?
These are the questions that we have to ask ourselves and answer honestly. And if we don't like the answers, now is the time to change. Reason number 2, our organization is built on core values and rules. This is clear by the fact that you were asked to spend your work time with this training about those core values and rules.
Reason number 3 is trust. Trust is essential to every relationship, and it's an emotionally charged issue. Think about a time in your life when you've had your trust broken or have broken somebody else's trust. Think about how bad that feels and how it affects the relationship. As the late Stephen Covey, the inspirational author and speaker, said, trust is the glue of life. It's the most essential ingredient in effective communication. It's the foundational principle that holds all relationships.
Reason 4, ethics is good for business. Ethical organizations are more profitable for a variety of reasons, including customers and investors trust us. Employees are happier, more motivated, and more productive in a culture of trust, integrity, and fair play. Ethical workplaces attract and retain the best talent and reduces turnover. It is also a lawful, compliant workplace, not burdened by costly investigations, lawsuits, and fines.
Reason number 5, ethics is so important, our reputation. Arguably our most valuable asset. It is our face to the world. An ethical reputation says we are admirable, worthy of respect, trustworthy. People take pride in their association with us. A reputation once damaged is difficult and sometimes impossible to repair, especially in the age of the internet and 24/7 news cycle, where ugly headlines spread like wildfire and often never go away.
So to whom do these rules on ethics apply? To everybody in the organization, up and down the chain of command. There is no manager's privilege. No one is authorized to act or make you act unethically. Ethical workplaces require us all to do the right thing.
Well said, Memo. You know, we are all leaders when it comes to doing the right thing. We can't stress that enough. You know, most of us do have pretty good alarm systems, but have you ever done something that was dishonest, disrespectful, hurtful, unfair? Well, I have. And let me ask you a question. When you were doing it, did you know you were doing the wrong thing? I'm ashamed to say I did.
Thanks for being so candid, Kate. Yeah, there are things that override our conscience, and being aware of those factors can help keep us on track. Now see if any of these things hit home. Need, fear, apathy, greed, personal gain, unethical organizational culture and environment, ignorance of the facts, uncertainty about what is right, pressure by supervisors, coworkers, customers, vendors, misguided loyalty.
You know, there's a man named Chuck Gallagher who was a high-powered CPA who ended up going to federal prison on felony embezzlement and tax evasion charges. He took $250,000 from his client's trust funds. Well, he had fallen behind on his house payments, and his ego wouldn't allow him to face the music and deal with the issue ethically. So now he shares his hard lessons as an author and speaker. Gallagher talks about the three-legged stool of unethical decision-making: need, opportunity, and rationalization. So you have a need. An opportunity arises to fill that need. And even though you know it's not the right choice, you come up with reasons why it's okay for you to get that need fulfilled, even though you're not playing by the rules. That's called a rationalization. You know, that is misguided, wrong thinking, usually a short-term fix that is very likely to blow up downstream.
That's right. Some common forms of rationalizations. Hey, everybody does it. Nobody's going to even notice or care. They owe me this. Hey, no big deal. Now, we have to remember that every choice has a consequence, even if it's not immediate. And with unethical choices, those consequences can usually be toxic for everybody involved.
Right you are, Memo. You know, Chuck Gallagher went to jail, he got out of jail, but now he's got to live with what he did for the rest of his life. And also the people that he betrayed. Those scars may never heal.
That's right.
You know, things tend to last a really long time when you've been betrayed. And, you know, what are the effects of unethical conduct on us as individuals in the workplace? Depression and anger, cynicism and hopelessness, loss of trust and confidence, decreased motivation and productivity, loss of reputation, loss of advancement, disciplinary procedure up to and including termination.
It's important to consider these consequences when tough choices come up. You know, we go through life sometimes thinking that what we do doesn't matter. It matters greatly. And we spoke about how the ethical workplace benefits the organization. On the flip side, unethical behavior can cause great damage, such as loss of reputation, loss of business, loss of productivity, loss of profitability, loss of morale, higher turnover, lawsuits, and fines.
So how about when the choices aren't clear? You know, it can be easy to go for the quick fix or take the easy way out, especially when we're under pressure. But there are steps that we can take to make sure that our choices are conscious, positive, and ethical. Stop and think. Gather facts. Identify who will be affected. Identify the consequences. Identify your responsibilities. Consider your character and your integrity. Think creatively about alternatives. Check your gut. Think about your reputation, your career, your future, and your family, and get advice. If you are in an ethical dilemma, get advice and counsel from a trusted supervisor and/or speak with human resources. Those doors are always open.
At this point, we hope we got you thinking about how these issues play out in your workplace and whether you're part of the problem or part of the solution.
Yes, exactly. And before we take you to our fictional workplace for some episodes, we want to show you a list of some common unethical conduct so you can keep your eyes open for this when you watch our scenes. Now, this list, believe me, is just the tip of the iceberg.
Sharing confidential or proprietary information, such as trade secrets. Retaliation for reporting wrongdoing. Threats or coercion to make someone act unethically. Falsifying records. Failure to honor commitments and breaking promises. Personal use or misuse of company property, including technology, that's computers, cell phones, iPads. Gossip. Behaving inappropriately during travel or other off-site activities.
Failure to report violations that you know about. Accepting unauthorized gifts or gratuities. Taking credit for or sabotaging someone else's work. Misuse of company time. Misrepresentation to get a sale. Safety violations. failure to treat others with respect and dignity, harassment, and discrimination.
Thanks, kid. Bottom line, if you are aware of unethical conduct, do the right thing. Speak to your supervisor, or speak to any member of management you trust, or speak to human resources. Reports of ethical violations will be investigated in a timely fashion with maximum discretion and confidentiality. If wrongdoing has occurred, remedial action will be taken up to and including termination.
Taking action and doing the right thing can sometimes be difficult. Often it's easier to do nothing and rationalize. But to quote Mahatma Gandhi, someone who did the right thing and changed the world, you have to do the right thing. You may never know what results come from your action, but if you do nothing, there will be no result. All righty then. With that in mind, we would like to take you now to our fictional workplace, where you're about to meet Don, a manager, and Charisse, his employee. Take a look and see if you see any ethical issues. Well, hi Don, you wanted to see me?
Yeah, wanting might be a little bit of an overstatement. Listen, Charisse, you and I got to talk.
Okay. You sound a little upset.
Yeah, a little bit. Okay, I'm just gonna cut to the chase. I sent you my expense report for the New York conference to submit. Now, rather than do that, as is your job, you email me back questioning it, which is not only not your job, it's kind of offensive because you haven't been here, not even 2 months, and you don't know how things work around here.
Right, but
Listen. Phil, okay, the finance manager, my pal, tells me that he asked you for it because he's got my back getting me reimbursed. He knows how much I need it, and then you tell him that you have to clear some things up first? Charisse, there's nothing for you to clear up. There's nothing for you to even think about.
Right, but usually your expense reports go to Joe, your boss, not to Phil, and then we have guidelines about what's approved and what's not. And some of what was on yours just didn't seem to fit with the guidelines, so.
I'm gonna assume that we're having this conversation right now because you're new and not because you're a troublemaker. Now, am I correct about that?
Well, no, no, I'm not a troublemaker. I'm just trying to do what's right.
Good, so am I. I'm trying to do what's right too, for everybody, all right? This is what's right. Charisse, I have 3 kids, all in college, apparently for life. I mean, these kids love college, so as you can imagine, my monthly nut would have the Queen of England and Bill Gates clipping coupons at the 99-cent store. You get me? I busted my back at that conference. And I used my own points to get my wife there so she could take a little time off. And I let the organization pay for a much-needed weekend for me and the mom of those perpetual students. You know, it was right over Central Park. Yeah, had some Chinese food, a decent bottle of scotch. It was great. And one of the vendors, nice guy, who's been doing very well precisely because I hooked him up with the organization. He ponies up for a limo service and some Broadway show tickets. It was great. My last raise, Charisse, was not what it should have been. What this allows is, well, the organization to ease my pain just a little bit, and then they can write it off as a business expense. Win-win.
Okay, but what about that $900 dinner bill with no detailed receipt and no customer names?
Listen,
per diem rate.
Listen. Have you ever, Charisse, come on, have you ever heard of the term whining and dining?
Yeah.
All right, what do you think that entails?
Well, wine.
Whining and whining, wine and wine. That's all it is, okay? It was the last night of the conference. You know, we didn't plan it, it was improvised. We saw some VIP clients there. They were drinking a little bit of wine, and so we got some bottles of wine. In New York, they're expensive. So the bill got a little high. So did we. That's what we do at conferences. We drink, we drink. And which is okay, that's what you do. The worst case scenario is you call people back the next morning and apologize for wearing lampshades on your head. Anyways, so like I said, the bill got a little bit high, and about 4 or 5 of us, we we share the check, so as to not raise any eyebrows. And Phil was one of them. The finance manager, that's how I know for sure I'm getting reimbursed on this. Joe, my supervisor, wasn't even there, right there. Are you understanding what I'm saying?
Okay, yes, I do, but that expense report is fraudulent, Don. And I mean, if there's an audit, then you, me, the organization, Phil, Joe, we're all in a lot of trouble.
Use that word one more time. Cherise, use fraudulent one more time.
Okay, I'm sorry. It was a bad choice of words.
Right.
I should have said illegal.
Are you trying to be a clown with me? Are you clowning me? Are you funny with me?
No, not at all. I'm just trying to play by the rules.
All right, I'm telling you what the rules are, okay? And what the rules are here, it's not what some lawyer or by the book HR hall monitor type that knows nothing about business has in his or her rule book. You impressed me when you applied. You did, because you said how loyal you were. I'm not getting that right now. I'm not feeling that. Maybe that was fraudulent on your part.
What? No. I am very loyal. I mean, I'm loyal to our employer. They pay my salary.
Yeah. We'll see about that. I mean, you have a performance eval coming up soon, right?
Wow. Is that a threat, Dawn?
No.
I mean, I think my work has been really good.
It's not a threat. I didn't threaten you. Your work is okay. Some of it's not so okay. Like, I'm trying to give you the benefit of the years that I've been here. Years and years, okay? I know how things go around here. I know how the river flows. And I want to see you succeed. But I'm not, I don't know. I don't think you understand how a team operates around here. Anyways, food for thought. For right now, are you going to submit my expense report? Or do I have to bypass you and do it myself?
Oh boy. What would you do if you were me, huh? I mean, look, I feel Dawn's pain. I'm a single mom. I'm doing it alone. I took me 6 months to get this job. I can't lose it, but my honesty and integrity are on the line. Our policy says that employees need to come forward and report wrongdoing, and that I'm going to be protected from retaliation. I know in my heart of hearts I've got to come forward and let management know, but what's going to happen if I do? So, what do you think? Were there any important ethical issues there?
Sure, several. First, honesty and integrity. Cherise displayed both. Integrity is vital to the organization's success. It builds trust and is the cornerstone of our reputation.
Exactly, and our reputation is an irreplaceable and invaluable asset. As Warren Buffett says, it takes 20 years to build a reputation and only 5 minutes to ruin it. It makes everyone, our customers, our vendors, our employees, our shareholders, proud of their association with us.
That's right. When I questioned Cherise's loyalty to me, she pointed out that it was our employer who pays her salary. Being loyal to me would have been misguided, a conflict of interest. Employees need to protect and advance the legitimate interests of the organization.
Exactly. And were there any financial issues that came up? Yeah, any legal issues? Absolutely. We need to stay in compliance with the law, and we need to follow proper business practices. What about that expense report that was improper? And also, what about those tickets, Broadway tickets, and the limo ride that Don said he got from a vendor who he helped get a contract with our organization? That may well violate our policy.
Yeah, but you know what? The vendor does a great job for the organization. He appreciates my help. I mean, come on. Nobody gets hurt. Everybody wins. What's the problem?
That's the same thing you said about the company writing off your personal expenses and taking a deduction, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that three-legged stool that we talked about of unethical decision-making? You have a need, you find an opportunity, and then you rationalize your unethical conduct?
That's right. And look, my comment that no one gets hurt and everybody wins, that's not true. I know that. I mean, Cherise is losing big time. She's losing faith in me, and Joe, my boss, and who's looking the other way, and Phil, my colleague, who collaborates in this misconduct. And the organization has a lot to lose from these violations and the impact the lack of trust is going to have on morale and productivity.
Yes, exactly. Well, thank you for admitting that.
Yeah, okay.
Appreciate that. Hey, one more thing.
Ah, you're gonna keep torturing me?
No, listen, don't blame the messenger. You remember how Don was talking about the dinner with the clients and how the wine was flowing and how he got high and got loosey-goosey and how people, routinely have to call each other the next morning and apologize? It's easy to forget that when we travel on business, this is still the workplace. And it's always important to remember that the ethical choice is to stay professional and stay appropriate.
That's true.
When you're traveling.
So, anyway, after that encounter, what happened?
Anyway, after that encounter, I followed our company's reporting procedure. And I did go to human resources. I let management know. And I'll tell you, it was a huge leap of faith. But HR investigated very confidentially.
Yeah, they did. And Phil, Joe, and I, we got called in. And we were pretty steamed. We were upset with Charisse that she came forward, and HR reminded us that retaliation is prohibited. Well, we faced disciplinary action, went through ethics training. We value our careers, and we saw the light. I felt bad. I felt horrible about destroying the trust between Charisse and me. And recently I've worked on developing an honest and respectful working relationship with her.
Right. The right choice was hard to make. It often is, but I'm really glad I made it. Say thank you for exploring these issues with us. Now we want to take you back to our fictional workplace, where you're about to meet Annette, a supervisor, having an encounter with Jeff, an employee. Hey Jeff, nice of you to drop by. Where have you been?
I was on my break. I had to go outside to take care of some personal business.
On your break? You've been gone an hour.
Hasn't been an hour.
Oh, yes, it has.
Nah, plus I worked through my lunch break, so I figured it was okay.
Work through your lunch break? Lunch breaks are mandatory, Jeff. You know that.
Right, but you had us work through all those lunches last month so we can reach those quota you wanted, and I got that big fat performance bonus. You didn't give us any credit, but that's nothing new. I give up. Where'd everybody go?
You know where everybody is, Jeff. In the training. It started half an hour ago. You were scheduled for that.
I didn't know anything about it.
Of course you knew about it. I sent you 2 emails and 2 reminders.
I didn't get it.
Jeff, come on. Don't go there. I know for a fact you got it.
What does that mean, for a fact?
It means when you didn't show up, I looked in your computer to make sure that those emails got there, and there they were.
You can't look through my computer. It's illegal.
Of course oh, come on, Jeff. It's a company computer. I not only have a right to look at it, I have a responsibility to look at it. And boy, you know what? I'm glad I did, because I got an eyeful.
Okay, what do you mean by that?
First of all, we need to talk, Jeff, and I guess this is as good a time as any. Listen, I could see very plainly on your computer that you're doing work for another organization, doing internet marketing on company time and on our computer.
Can I explain? Can you give me 1 second to talk about this? Listen, Lisa, my wife, lost her job 3 months ago. Okay, she had that job for like 9 years. Okay, we didn't expect that. I got a mortgage up to here. I got 2 kids. One's in college. All right, we're sweating it. She bought a car stupidly about 6 months ago. So I don't see what the problem is, because I'm completing my work. So I don't see what the big deal is. I complete my work here.
Jeff, you know that that's prohibited to have outside employment on company time, right?
Technically. But so are a lot of other things that happen here that you don't seem to care about. Listen, I stay late to make sure that all the work is taken care of.
Stay late? What do you mean stay late? I haven't authorized overtime for you.
Well, don't worry about it. No overtime. God forbid that you ever give us overtime. No, I clock out, and then I come back to make sure everything is done. And you made it perfectly clear to us that as long as we, hit those numbers, you don't really care how we do it.
Jeff, I don't know. I don't know how you got that impression, but I most certainly do care about how we make our goals. And you know what? Let's not change the subject. Let's not get diverted from what's on your computer. Jeff, look, I saw that you were downloading a lot of materials about medical marijuana in the workplace.
Your business.
Hold on. Now listen, I've noticed changes in your behavior lately. I haven't said anything. Okay, I probably should have, but you're not as focused. You're forgetting things. And I even saw you sleeping at your desk.
That's not true.
Yes, it is true. You know we have a substance-free workplace here, right?
Yeah, but
I don't think it applies to me because I got a prescription. But anyways, I don't even know why you're beefing with me on this. Because your buddy, your friend, your star performer, Cindy, comes back from lunch. She's high.
What?
Okay, she's lit. She's high. I mean, she can work but high, but she comes back high, and you know she goes out and tokes up.
No, I do.
But hey,
I
but
absolutely do not.
She's your buddy, so I can guess she gets away with it. And even though I have a medical reason and a prescription, I can't do it. I get it.
Well, obviously, I did not know about that, and besides, it has to do with impairment, and Cindy's doing a great job. I had no idea this.
What
was
about
going on.
Louis? And he's been taking Vicodin forever.
Louis, I don't know anything about that. Okay, I really don't. But I've not noticed anything wrong with Louis' behavior or with Cindy's. No.
Louis, are you kidding me? I love the guy, but we got to take care of the guy because he's like a wrecking ball. I mean, last week he deleted almost 4 days worth of work on the Atlas file. Accidentally, but he did. I had to stay late to take care of a lot of that. And then he CC'd an important client accidentally, but with some confidential information from the company. I had to take care of that. He broke 2 coffee pots on Friday in one day. 2 coffee pots. We don't let him near the coffee room anymore. Do you want me to keep going? Because I can keep going. I'm sorry if I'm upset. I apologize, but I'm just tired of following the rules. Nobody else follows the rules. I feel like I'm stupid to keep following the rules.
Wow. Jeff, look, if you know there are things going on that shouldn't be, you need to come forward and let someone know and not break the rules yourself. That's not the ethical way to go.
That's a little hypocritical for you to say, no offense. But I tried to do the right thing, the ethical thing for the organization. I really did. I spoke to Rich. Rich had your position, was our supervisor before you got here, before he got promoted. Look, we saw some things. It wasn't just me. People here that was going on in the group. And there was things like, I told Rich, I wanted to be a leader. So I said, listen, Jimmy is taking home shipping supplies because his wife's got an eBay business at home. Jolene is giving confidential information to her cousin who doesn't work here, because at that time he was bidding on a contract with the organization. I mean, that was crazy. So I told him some other stuff that was going on. You know what he said to me? He just looked at me and said, I got too much stuff on my mind. I don't need to hear this. It's not hurting you. It's not hurting anybody. So what? That's basically what he said. I tried to do the right thing for the organization. Maybe he was thinking that these shenanigans were going to complicate his promotion. I don't know.
I did not know about that,
You
Jeff.
didn't, really?
I didn't.
You didn't know about that?
No.
Is that your position? You didn't know about that? Come on. Well, the gossip machine, all right? The gossip machine, everybody around here knows what gossip machines are best technology. Makes the internet look like 2 tin cans and a string. Everybody and their grandmama knew what was going on. Jimmy got a hold of it. We had a confrontation. He was calling me a snitch. I felt like I was in high school, or county jail or something, and people were talking about it, even on Facebook. Somebody posted something up. I don't know who it was. So I tried to do the right thing. But I don't even know why I'm telling you this, because my wife is right, my mom is right too. I have a big mouth. I should just shut up about this stuff.
Wow.
I don't want to lose this job. I can't lose this job, so punish me. Do whatever you need to do, Annette, because you and Rich were right. I'm not going to say anything about what's going on here.
Wow. You heard what I heard right here. Obviously, we've got some problems. I need your help figuring out a plan of action. Well, any ethical alarms go off? Yes. First of all, Jeff's unauthorized hour-long absence from the workplace and him not taking his lunch break, which he knew was mandatory.
All right, I'll own that, but, I thought it was fine because you had us work through all those lunches last month so we can reach those goals you wanted. You got a big fat performance bonus, took all the credit, we did all the work. That's true.
Those are good points. Ignoring the rules to achieve goals is never an ethical choice. And plus, what kind of an example did I set for my team? I mean, how can they trust me when I'm breaking the rules and taking credit for work that they did?
That's true. And how about Annette's looking on my computer?
I mean, she can't do that. It is my computer. That's illegal. No, it's my employer's, and as my supervisor, she has the right to know what's on it, and plus, she found evidence of wrongdoing.
Exactly. And Jeff's working on somebody else's job while he's on our organization's time is absolutely prohibited, and it creates a conflict of interest. Doing personal business on company technology is always the wrong choice.
Agreed. Remember I said a coworker of mine was taking shipping supplies home and another gave confidential information to a relative that doesn't work here while that relative was bidding on a contract? That's totally unethical. You know, I used to play by the rules, but if people don't follow the rules, then why should I follow the rules? Why? Well, come on, I know that's a cop-out. I knew what I was doing was wrong. I got cynical, and I rationalized it, plain and simple.
Hey, you know what? That's honest. And I can actually see why you got cynical. I mean, you did the right thing reporting to Rich, who was your supervisor, and then he not only swept it under the carpet, but he obviously talked about it as well, because then you became the subject of this vicious gossip, both in the workplace and on social media. Gossip, it is toxic. It is always the wrong choice, and we should always reject it.
Oh, here's something, Annette. You blasted Rich for his unethical conduct. How about yours? I told you a lot of stuff. You gonna do anything about that?
Good questions. As you can see, we've got ethical problems here in my department, and if I want a department that's built on trust, integrity, and fair play, I need to make some changes, starting with myself. You know, before I saw Jeff's downloads about the medical marijuana, I had noticed some changes in his behavior, and I should have done something about it, but I didn't. I took the easy way out and ignored it. Not the right thing. And now I've learned from Jeff that Cindy may be using marijuana, and the fact that Cindy is my top producer is irrelevant. Okay, the rules apply to everyone. And Louis, he may be using a prescription drug as well, and that could impair his performance. Look, we have a substance-free workplace here. And the rules apply to everyone, as I said. I definitely need to go into HR and talk with them immediately about this. Make sure I understand exactly what needs to happen. Asking for help, always the right choice.
Thank you for exploring this with us. Now let's head back to our fictional workplace one last time, where you're gonna meet Roberto, a warehouse manager, and his employee, Louise. Yeah, baby. 5 more days, and it's you and me on the beaches of Maui, sipping Mai Tais the size of, what? Yeah. Oh yeah, we're gonna be doing the hukilau and a bunch of other stuff, because little Bobby, Billy, Barbie, and the baby are gonna be 2,500 miles away with Abuelita Chela, okay, for grandma. Yeah, ¿quién te quiere? Yeah, tú eres mi gatica, yo soy tu perrito. Oh, wow. Hey, Louise just snuck up on me here. Listen, I gotta go, because, you know, when she's here, it's nothing but trouble. Bye-bye.
Very funny.
Oh, make it quick. Okay, honey, I gotta find a new delivery driver by the end of the day. Otherwise, my big fat nachos are in a big fat sling. I've been looking for somebody for 2 weeks. I can't find anybody. Nobody's applying. You know, I got 5 days I leave to Hawaii. This guy's gotta be up and running by the time I split. I don't care at this point who it is, what it is. As long as he or she can reach the pedals, I'm good to go.
You sound desperate.
Yeah, let me tell you, I'm really desperate. I'll tell you on a personal level, my marriage is in a delicate state, okay? I cannot cancel this vacation. Lucy will divorce me. Now, could you imagine child support for 4 kids?
Yeah, if I'm receiving it. Hey, oh, you know what? I shouldn't be saying this. I really shouldn't, but I guess I will. My cousin's husband is a delivery driver, but he just got fired from his job, and he's been putting the pressure on me to put in a good word for him.
Yeah, well, you got fired from the job, and what happened?
Well, he had some safety violations, and the company said that they would still give him a good reference, though,
Okay.
because they want to get rid of him, and plus they they don't want, if he gets ugly, to have a lawsuit or anything. I have his number in my purse.
Go get me the number right now.
Okay, but first I need to ask you something. You know that stinky blue stuff that we unloaded out of those 55-gallon drums into those
Yeah.
5-gallon containers? Where I don't know what's in them,
I
but
don't care.
where should we put them?
Find a spot. Just put it somewhere in the yard, in the warehouse.
Okay, fine. Well, the only place I could find was in the southeast corner of the yard, and it's up against that hillside that
Alright.
in there leads down to a storm drain. It concerns me, and then there's a lot of traffic in that area. But we're so backed up. I'm thinking.
You think I forgot that we're backed up? You think it slipped my mind? I've been trying to catch up on some work here. I used to have hair 2 weeks ago. You know why I don't have any hair anymore? Because I'm looking for a new delivery driver. Put that container, all those containers, wherever you think, the southeast corner, that'll work. I'll deal with it when I get back from Hawaii, assuming I ever get to go to Hawaii. You know what I need right now?
What?
That phone number.
Right. Okay, but there's one more thing. Listen, I never complain, but I'm telling you, the floor and the yard are like a pizza oven right now, boss. Seriously. There's been a run on the Gatorade and the water. The cooler is empty. And, we ladies, we don't sweat, we glow. But the guys, my gosh, they're sweating like hogs in a hot tub.
Don't tell me this. Look, you're the person over there in charge. Just deal with it, all right? Go get me that phone number. But listen, if you're gonna insist on working through lunch, you gotta eat something, anything. You're worrying me.
Hey, I'm the Jewish mother, not you.
I don't know. Yes, you're a Jewish American mother, but you've been hanging out with all those people that go to those demonstrations for amnesty for the undocumented workers. You're starting to look like one of those zapatistas. Se ve, se siente, Luisa está presente. I'm joking with you. But listen, if you're going to insist on working through lunch, take 5-10 minutes, eat a sandwich or a machaca burrito, whatever makes you happy.
Look, boss, there's no time, okay? If I'm gonna get everything done that needs to be done, there's no time to eat. So
That's why you're my tiger. Rawr. I wish everybody was like you. Right now, you know what I need?
that number.
The number. Go get it.
So I went and got him the number, and he called my cousin's husband and he hired him, despite those safety violations. And he trotted off to Hawaii. Well, this is his first day back. And let's go back now and look at the consequences of some of those unethical decisions. Ay, ay, ay. Oh,
What happened?
man. Oh,
What happened?
boss, I'm sorry.
What happened? Are you hurt?
Well, my pride is hurt. Maybe I'm fine. No, but maybe my arm and my leg and my head a little
What
bit.
happened?
I was driving the forklift, boss. I'm so sorry. And I must have nodded off because I was a little bit blood sugar low from not eating.
I told you to eat something.
I know you did. I don't think I need to go to the doctor, but
No doctor necessary. No, listen. Come on, my uncle was a medic in the army. My abuela was a curandera. All right. So listen, raise this arm this way. Raise this arm this way.
Ay.
Sorry, raise it like that. Put it together, cross it. Follow my thing. That's it. All around. Look at my thumb. Gee, you're dumb. I'm kidding. I'm joking. There's no reason to go to a doctor. You're fine. No injury report necessary. We're working on a perfect safety. For 60 days, we're going for 90. All right, we get free soda and pizza. So come on, sit down. What
boss,
happened?
I'm so
What
sorry.
happened?
No, listen. I don't know what happened. Like I said, I nodded off, and anyway, the next thing I know, I'm crashing the forklift
You what?
into those 5-gallon containers with that stinky blue stuff in it that we don't know what it is. It's still unlabeled. And anyway, they broke open and it spilled, and the guys are out there trying to clean it up, and it's all over the ground, and the guys are wallowing around in it. They're trying to pack insulation around the storm drain. I mean, they're covered in it. They look like the Vegas Blue Man show. Boss, what is that stuff? Is it toxic?
I don't think so. No. Listen, did you get those spill kits out there?
Spill kits? You know we don't have any spill kits. We ran out last month, and when I told you about it, you said no, don't get any more, to wait until the next budget period because you wanted to come in under budget. I knew I should have done it then. I knew it.
You should have done it.
Yes,
okay,
I should.
It's okay. It's okay. Listen, we got about a minute before the powers that be storm down here like a bunch of killer bees. So let's get our stories straight. I'm gonna write the report.
Okay.
Now, I'm not gonna say it's your fault, all right? But I'm gonna say it's a little bit your responsibility on the report because we have so much stuff coming in, and I was in Hawaii anyway. But I'm gonna put it in your record. I get to put it on your record.
What, you're going to blame it on me?
No, blame's a strong
Wait a
word.
minute, that's going to be on my record.
No, it's not. But I can manipulate it. See, if Juan does it, he's my supervisor. I don't know what he's going to put in mind, but you can trust me. But let me ask you this question. Before you drove think about this. Before you drove the forklift, did you do the training that needs to be done? You did.
No, I didn't have time.
You mean you didn't have time?
I'm so sorry, boss. No, I didn't. But you know me, I can drive anything. But listen, I'll complete it tonight. I promise. I'll go home. I'll do it tonight online and get it done. Listen, this isn't going to affect my getting that supervisor position, is it?
I don't know. We'll talk about that later. Right now, I'm looking for the safety man. You know what upsets me? That you say you don't have time to do things that you need to do, but you have time for all that political stuff that you do. You go to those demonstrations with those activist buddies, you know, all the stuff about the border and stuff, and you do it here on company time, and listen to me, you do it on the computers. You know, you even post it on all that stuff on the internet, you know?
Well,
on Facebook.
I only do it on my break, I swear, and I never miss any of my work.
I don't even understand why.
I shouldn't have done it. I'm sorry. I won't do it anymore.
Why you do that? I don't understand, because you're not undocumented. What's the big deal?
I can't believe you're saying this. You're Mexican. You said your father crossed illegally.
That's entirely different, and that was in the 60s.
Okay, fine. I accept the bus. I shouldn't have been doing it. I won't do it anymore. Boss, listen. The promotion to supervisor, is this gonna...
Hold on. Yeah. No, Jimmy, I'm going down there right now. No, we just heard about it. 2 seconds. All right. Let's go. Come on. Watch your leg. I bet you're wondering what happened. Well, let me tell you what happened. I did trot out to the spill with my buddy over here, and she was right. That stuff got everywhere. I mean, everybody that worked on that spill had to go get in and get checked out medically. Some actually needed medical treatment. I felt real bad about that. And to top it off, this stuff got everywhere. I'm talking everywhere, including behind the warehouse, off property, you know, and got into a protected creek where those endangered swamp flies mate. Well, they're not endangered anymore because they're extinct.
That's right. OSHA and the EPA got involved. There were fines, and it was all over the news. It was an environmental, safety, and public relations disaster.
Yes, it was. Now, here's a question. Was my failure to label and properly store the toxic materials, was that unethical? Of course it was. And it was unlawful too. When Louise was hurt, you know, I actually encouraged her, I pressured her to not report it. And so it wouldn't hurt our safety record. Well, that was not good. And also, I influenced her to violate the law and our policy by skipping her lunch, all in the name of meeting our goals. Quick, easy fixes that turned into disasters.
Right, and I went along with it. Why? Misguided loyalty to Roberto instead of to our employer, and disregard for my coworkers, for their safety and for their well-being. You know, supervisors can't make us make unethical choices, but in this case, I gave in, and not just about that, also about the driver, my cousin's husband, with the bad safety violations, telling him about that, and also the spill kits, not ordering them, and not completing my training on the new forklift. That I knew all of that was wrong, and I did it anyway.
And what about the driver's employer who gave the guy a good reference just to get rid of him and try to avoid a lawsuit? This guy taking the easy way out when there could be dire consequences. Talk about unethical. Maybe I shouldn't say anything because, well, I did the same thing.
Yep. And I'll tell you, Roberto's comments about my work on immigration issues and all of that, I found it very offensive.
Well, in my defense, you should not have been using company time or technology for that. Of course, I knew about it, and I should have told you something. I just made a snide comment. That wasn't good. No wonder these things keep happening to me.
Well, exactly. And here's the thing. You know, we have a lot of people from different countries and different cultures who work together here. And they are following Roberto's lead and treating each other with disrespect, and it's very upsetting. Plus, you know, Roberto asking me to take responsibility for the spill and deciding not to report my injuries, it really destroyed what trust I had in him, and it started to eat at me, and it started affecting my work performance. And that's when I told Roberto I was going to go to HR.
And she did. And I told her before that. I told Louise that was a bad idea, that if she ever wanted to see that promotion, she shouldn't do that. And I knew that was wrong. Retaliation is not only against our policy, it's illegal. But instead of stepping back, of reflecting, thinking things through clearly, and doing the right thing, I let fear and my ego get in the way.
Exactly. But you know what? I found my moral compass, and I came forward. I mean, something had to be done.
Yeah, my unethical conduct made me a liability to the organization. They let me go. Telling my family was one of the hardest things I've ever had to do. Then I had to tell them why. That was even worse. Wish I could turn back the clock and rewind things and do things differently. But I guess all I can do now is learn from that experience and promise to never do it again.
So a new supervisor came in, and I asked her, if I could look for a promotion. And she said to me that, to be honest, given how I had reacted in this situation and the choices that I had made, she really didn't feel that I was ready for a leadership spot. And she didn't want to make a promise that she couldn't keep. I respected that. As for me, well, I needed to do some soul searching, and I'm doing that. And I'm committed to proving myself and proving that I can make the right choices, even when it's difficult. And it often is.
Well, we've come to the end of the training. Thank you all for joining us.
Right. Thank you so much for joining us. We hope that the program today will inspire and empower you to do the right thing, to make ethical choices. Thanks again, and bye for now.